January 18, 1990, me and three of my co-defendants, we got locked up for first-degree murder. I took a deal for involuntary manslaughter for 6 years, and I did 3.5 on that. Here's some pictures of me when I first got locked up. I was 19 years old, solid ad. Then was 3.5 hard years being locked up. Wasn't nothing cool about being locked up, and I lost everything. I had to get out and start over. But as you can see, look how young I was back then. Another thing was back then you was able to wear your colors. And you can see I'm banged out on a lot of these pictures. Even me and Lil Kiki, my co-defendant on this picture. And then this last picture is me right before I paroled. And, you know, I thought I was all that because, you know, I made it out alive, you know, with all the different things that went on and took place for us, riots and things like that. And, you know, I made it out in one piece. When I got out of prison, May 14, 1990, I stayed out 2 months. And part of my parole condition was not to hang around gang members. And here I am at a bowling alley with 3 of my friends, and I had a card on me saying if I was around any gang members because of what I just got out of prison for, I'll immediately go to jail. So I went back to jail after doing 3.5 years and did an 8-month violation. Got out March the 15th of 94. And here's a picture in the calendar we did for Tray Dee, Snoop Dogg, and Nate Dogg. May his soul rest in peace. On this group picture, on the left-hand side, is my gang, the former gang I used to be from, the Beach Insane Crips. That's me on the left. On the right-hand side is Snoop Dogg gang, the Long Beach Rolling 20 Crips. And we came together for peace. We came together to try to help our communities. In the background is a picture of Tray Dee, the rapper that's singing rap with Goldie Loc and Snoop Dogg. Their group was called the East Siders. And as you can see, even he got into trouble again. We all paroled from Soledad in the early 90s. As you can see, once you get a taste of prison, a lot of times it's hard to get rid of it. But as you can see at the bottom of this calendar, we came together for peace. That's what's up. The men of Long Beach, the men who are before you in this picture are for change. Dealing with these men has been an experience that has opened my eyes to the experience that I could not have obtained from any school or book, and has been an educational experience. To you youths out there, this is a known rapper, partners with Snoop Dogg and Goldie Loc. The East Siders, Tray Dee, pleaded no contest in February to a charge of shooting in an occupied vehicle. Sentenced to 12 years in prison, the 38-year-old rapper is currently incarcerated at the California Institution of Mendocino. To you youths out there, and this a known rapper, you can see even he's saying it. I don't care who you is. Again, remember this. Once you get on this side of the fence, it's pretty much out of sight, out of mind. Another thing is sad when you in this gang lifestyle. For example, the On the Bus organization, they came up here a few months ago, and my nephew and my son came up here to see me. And when you in this lifestyle, that's who really suffer, your parents and your kids. And what's sad is that look at these pictures of my son and my nephew before I came to prison. And this is when I got out in 1993. Look how small they were. Now look at them. Just a picture of them since they came up here and seen me a few months ago. You see what I missed? And see, that's what's sad, because my son is the opposite of me. He just graduated college, and I'm proud of him. You know, he's trying to make a life out of himself, and I just sit here and got a gang of regrets because, you know, I didn't show him how to shave. I didn't show him how to drive. I didn't show him how to be a man. None of that. But what I am thankful about is that I stayed writing him and explaining to him, don't live my lifestyle, because a lot of my friends that know me, the first thing they do is tell them everything about me and about him and how we grew up and things like that. And it's all bad stuff. And the average kid on the streets, they be like, see, I want that kind of reputation. But see, my son, he was smart. And same with my nephew. They both never been to prison. They ain't never got in trouble. And I'm just happy that they the opposite of me and my brother. If I was wrongfully convicted, would you believe me? Okay, well, let me show you something. Now, I ain't trying to get you to feel sorry for me or none of that, but I'm just giving you some hand-me-downs to make you think. Remember, anger is your enemy. Remember that as long as you live. So let me show you this. This is my case after I was found guilty of 3 counts of attempted murder. A restitution fine of $200 was ordered. The total term of commitment was life plus 11 years. Now, I want y'all to see this because this was said in court. The shooter looked like appellant, although he was wearing a different shirt and now his hair is in a ponytail. After firing the 3 shots, the appellant rolled off on a bicycle down the alley toward Pacific Coast Highway. The Grazers gave chase on foot and quickly came up on a police car and told the officer what happened. Officer Punch heard 3 shots at about 10:15 and a woman in the area of Pacific Coast Highway in Pacific pointed at an appellant who was driving a bicycle out of the alley and did not appear to have a weapon. As Punch drove over to the woman, she said, that's the guy who did the shooting. The Grazers also pointed toward the appellant. Punch lost sight of appellant as he drove his bicycle through a parking lot. Punch made a U-turn and drove north of Pacific, where he caught sight of the appellant on the bicycle again. Punch could see appellant's hands on the handlebars but saw no gun. Punch drove apparel with appellant and ordered him to stop. After ignoring numerous orders to stop, appellant finally pulled over at 19th and Pacific. At that point, appellant had no weapon on him and Punch had not seen him gesturing anything during the chase. Appellant was driven to the police station where he was booked about 30-40 minutes after his arrest. At this time, bags were placed over appellant's hands in to attempt to preserve any gunshot residue. Later, Officer Lakuta took 2 samples from appellant's hands, one using a spray and the other using a sticky substance. The shell casings, the ammunition removed from the gun were all processed for latent fingerprints with negative results. Police criminalists analyzed the swabs from appellant hands for gunshot residue. Neither the scanning electron microscope, which can detect a single particle of residue, or atomic absorption test for gunshot residue found anything positive. To you youths out there, again, I want you to remember this as long as you live. This is the test results that they did on me. 2 tests. Now, you know how you pepper or glitter. It's a gang of that stuff. Like glitter that go on a paint job or whatever. They didn't get a single particle off of my hands and I was caught immediately. Now, CSI, Law and Order, all these different talk shows, cold case files, things like that, they believe in a system. And this is how they prove you guilty. And they supposed to find you guilty without a reasonable doubt. I want y'all to see this. Again, I'm not trying to get y'all to feel sorry for me. I just want y'all to think about what y'all doing, because if they really want you, they gonna get you. And here go the proof right here. No particles consistent with gunshot residue were detected on the right or left hand disc samples. Based on these results, no statements may be made as to the subject handling or discharging a firearm. To you youths out there that want to be a killer, want to be a rider, want to be this and thinking you all that in a bag of chips, you can see right here, all this was said in court and I was still convicted. Remember this, to show you how dirty the court system is. Once I was found guilty in the Long Beach court, I was sentenced to 11 years to life. Now, you just saw what I just showed you back there. I appealed my case and was like, look, the evidence showed that not only I shouldn't have been convicted, y'all not even following your own laws of how the court system works. You're supposed to find a person guilty as a reasonable doubt. Them test results came back that my fingerprints weren't on the gun, the bullets, or the shell casings. And they took 2 tests on my hands, came back out and shoot the weapon. When I appealed it to try to get the 11 years to life off of me, look what happened. They gave me more time. And that's my case at the top. In this opinion, the judgment is modified as follows. Defendant is sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences for attempted murders plus 12 years for the 3 firearm use enhancements, plus 5 years for the prior serious felony conviction enhancement. The minimum term of each life sentence is 14 years for a total minimum term of 3 consecutive life sentences of 42 years. So in other words, right now I've been locked up since August 22nd, 1994. So I've been down 19 years. I'm done with the 17 years. They want me to pull 14 years off the 3 life sentences. So that's the rest of my life. I will never, ever, ever get out of jail. So you youths out there that's thinking this stuff is cool, man, if they really want you, they gonna get you.